Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to episode 17 of Arcane Revolution. As you can see, we've got a couple changes to our little project from last time. So instead of having the chest in the middle here that I was then going to be exporting, I figured, why not just export directly onto conveyor belts? And then these will go into these two chests here. I might just have it be one in the middle. Haven't decided yet. In fact, I might have it down a layer. I don't know. Something like this. But yeah, so that's the plan. It seems to be working quite nicely. It's filling up this chest, and everything has power. I'm pretty sure this guy can't keep up if everything's running, but I don't really need to worry about that for right now. Yes, Town Hall is still sitting here. The reason for that is everyone died, and I don't know if breaking this is going to get rid of them entirely. I'd hope not, but I don't really know. So we're just going to leave that until we can resurrect them. But I think we're actually, for the most part, done with this area here, so let's move on to other things. So, what are we going to work on today? Now, the plan is a lot, unfortunately. Unfortunately for me, because it's going to be a little tedious. All these guys here, these are my wonderful shelving units, which are pretty cool. They have, each shelf has its own like theme, so Botania, Immersive Engineering, Thaumcraft, and it's real nice. And you can have this nice little search field. Unfortunately, Mr. Corporea Spark on here is only reading the top shelf, so red tallow candle, apparently. So if I go over here and I say I want red tallow candle, it gives me 1, because that's how many it thinks is here. Unfortunately, that was actually supposed to be aimed at this level, which is my mystical light blue flower. Let's find something else to type. Rune of Fire. Yes, we'll type U. So, Rune of Fire. 0. So even though the spark is on the bottom layer, it's actually only picking up the top layer, which is not good. That means I can't use this for any sort of automation. I can't have it automate my Botania stuff because it's on the bottom shelf. It'll only automate the top shelf, which is what I want. So that means I pretty much have to tear out everything and start over. Yeah, like I said, tedious. Now the good news is, that lets me do some stuff I wasn't planning on doing. For instance, I need to finish up the drawers up here. I need to actually fill this in all the way over here as well as along the side. I'll have to move this some point, but not for now. The problem though is my plan is to use these gold chests from iron chests. Gold chests from iron chests, yes. Problem with that is I have a grand total of 6 blocks of gold, which is 58 gold ingots, which is enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 chests total. That's not enough. So we need to come up with a way to get some gold. So let's take a look at our options. We have quite a few things we can do. We can get Lucrite seeds from Thaumic bases. Fortunately, this needs Famus, which is an old aspect that doesn't exist anymore. It needs 20. So one of the sources for it is, of course, Lucrite seeds. And the other is Angry Tobacco Pile, which isn't really an option because that takes 4 to make it in the first place, so that's actually a loss. Yeah, so pretty much you kind of need to luck out and get the crystals from research, which is not really ideal, and currently I have 0, so that would take a very long time to get up to 20. Not really an option. Golden oak. These ones I need to figure out how to actually make first. So let's look in research here, Thaumic bases. First I need rainbow cactus, so let's complete you. Cool, I'm guessing this just changes colors and then you can use it for things. Cool. Power gold. Let's see, this needs 2 blocks of gold and an oak sapling. Let's see what that takes. So, hopefully this is worthwhile, but probably not. 1, 2, and do I have a sapling on me? 1 sapling. Alrighty, let's see what you take. Complete. 2 golden apples, regular apples, and oak. That's actually not too bad. Not only weeds and flowers can be magically processed to create something new, trees have that potential too. Too strong on their own, and therefore they resist any simple magic additions. Let's see, infusion should do the job, blah blah blah. Golden oak works as regular oaks, however should drop an apple, and that apple will be covered in gold. However, it is impossible to eat the mythical enchanted golden apple due to being infused with good essentia, or greed essentia. Tree will drop much less saplings, since it wants to be the only one absorbing sunlight and water. So can I actually... It, however, is impossible to get... Oh, so it just gives you regular golden apples. Can I turn you back into gold then? Is there anything I can do with you? Not really. So I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but if I can't actually turn it directly into gold, then not actually that useful. I don't suppose it drops. You just drop saplings. Can I use the wood for anything? Golden oak planks, and that just is regular planks. Okay, so not really useful at all, except for I guess for color or decoration, and lots of golden apples, which I don't really need anyway. That being said, gold ore I can make you with an orchid. I don't know that I have enough mana generation power for that yet. Otherwise, I guess I can just do a few more of the blood magic meteors. That's always an option. That's a really manual option. I'd like to have an automated system. Alrighty, so to actually get gold, it looks like I'm stuck with only a couple options. One is mining, so that's not going to happen. The orchid, I can use that. The meteor from blood magic. Let's see, immersive engineering, I can set that up as well with an excavator. Another option is a mob farm. Zombie pigmen drop gold. So that's actually a potential thing that I can do. I think what I'm going to do is, for the time being, to get a little bit of gold at least so I can kind of overhaul this system, I think I'm going to go with just summoning a bunch of meteors, but I am definitely going to set up a spawner in the nether, because I only have one gas tier here. What I can do is I can set a spawner platform up above the nether ceiling, and basically just power it, probably a, what's the thing from Botania, the thing that kills everything, Bellthorn. I've set one up before where it's just a Bellthorn, a Hopperhawk, and I think a Gormorillus. And that's it. And basically it'll kill the zombies, get their flesh, feed the flesh into the Gormorillus, which will then power the Bellthorn, which will then keep killing to get more gold. Actually worked out really well, but I haven't tried it in the newer version of Botania where it will lower your mana efficiency by just feeding it the same item over and over. So that's a thing to consider. But for now, I'm just going to summon a bunch of meteors. Okay, admittedly, I could probably take the star down here from the tree. But I'm not going to. I'm going to keep summoning meteors. So, nothing fancy. I'm going to just kind of go, I think, here is a good spot. Perfect. And let's go ahead and build up our ritual. So, are you in the way? You're probably in the way. Break you. Go away. Okay. And that's probably good. So, Master Ritual Stone, mark the Falling Tower, and let's just fill it in. Alright, so I've got a pillar up in the middle, just dirt with the obsidian on top. I think the obsidian doesn't do anything anymore, but whatever, we'll see. So, that's activated it. Let's toss a block of gold in. And just for good measure, let's move away. There we go. And let's see what we've got. Lots of gold, which is good. Lots of iron, which is also pretty good. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Alrighty, not too bad. That was one meteor, got us 3 stacks of gold ore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a bit more of iron, some copper, and tin. So that actually might be enough gold just on its own. Can't really summon another one right now anyway. We're down to 18,000 blood, so we're gonna let that recharge a bit and maybe summon another one in a little bit. And at some point I'm going to have to actually build this building, but for now it'll just process on its own. Let's go over here, add a bit more ember, because I think we're running low actually. That was not what I wanted to do. Great, can't right click that, you have to toss in here. Note to self, don't do that. So that should start sending ember over, which should... Do I have any water to put myself out here? There we go. Okay. Like I was saying, that's going to send some ember over, which is going to then keep this stuff processing. I do love watching this place work. I do need to completely redesign the walls, though. I don't really like any of it. I want to include brick, because I want everything over here to be using brick, at least in some aspect. But I don't have any clay, so that's a thing I need to start working on as well. In the meantime, I'll let this process up. That'll get us about 6 stacks of gold, which should be enough to start building. Like I said, can't get over how much I like the sound of this place. Because basically every four of those is a whole stack. So not too bad for how fast I can process. Right now we're up to, I guess, double this, so that's 2, 3-ish stacks so far, so about halfway done. I have just a bunch of random other ore sitting around here as well. Yeah, so we'll be back once this is finished. I just really like it. And unfortunately it looks like iron is also a limiting factor, so we'll set up a bunch of this to smelt as well, and then we can finally get started actually building some chests. A little bit of sidetracking at this point. Basically, I've got a whole bunch of coal, so I want to turn it into coal coke, which I can then put in my embers bore, which I can then use to get more ember, so I can keep powering the refining over there. That's how it circles back. Which brings us over here. So what I'm building right now is probably completely unnecessary, but whatever. It is a tank from Immersive Engineering. So this is, like I said, it's probably not the most effective storage method, and honestly this isn't even where I want to store it. But whatever, I need a tank to hold all the creosote because I have a whole lot of coal coke going through, which I just don't have room for. So yeah, we're doing this. So place that, and I believe just smack it with a hammer, which I should have right here. And there you go. Okay, so now that that is done, let's dig out underneath here, and let's place one of our... Actually, let's grab a couple of these. So I need... Okay, so I can just break that on its own. 4, 5... Yep, we're just going to break all these, and see how much of this we can store in that tank. Now, I believe it stores 512, which I didn't actually check to see how much I've got here, but whatever. So let's build a little scaffold to get up. Perfect. Now, in theory, if I place one of these on top, good, it'll start filling up. So this guy here does not show how much it show how much it has, but man, you are slow. Okay, you hurry up and drain. Place you. Okay. So that is draining, and now let's check to make sure that this can fill from down at the bottom. No. I believe it actually needs a redstone signal to do that. Perhaps. So let's take some redstone, let's take a lever, and let's take a comparator as well from this. So comparator is to read the level, so let's just stick you there. No? Whatever. Lever, here. Turn you on. That's draining there. Okay, so that works. Now, let's just stack a bunch of these guys up. And we should now have plenty of room to store all of our creosote and not have to worry about it anymore. And like I said, this isn't actually where I want this. I want to have the coal coke ovens over in the farming area, but I don't have a place for it yet. So in the meantime, we're just going to fill up this tank. It has a nice little indicator on the side there. And our redstone comparator is starting to read a signal. So, yay. This barrel down here is just so I can take buckets of it at a time if I need, or I guess probably jerry cans full. Once this is filled, then I can get all my barrels back and I can set up a thing to be able to fill it easier. And all that just to restock my gold and iron. So I've got 57 blocks of that and 31 of gold. So should be set for a little bit. I made myself 16 gold chests. And let's get rid of all the extra stuff in our inventory here. And I gotta figure out a design. So in an ideal world, I'd be able to use these shelving units, but this isn't an ideal world apparently. So instead, I've got gold chests. Now I'm trying to come up with a design that I like. Basically, I've got that set up here. So I have my inputs here, outputs here. So they're feeding the gold chest. I have the front accessible for me as well as for golems. Because if I equip, I don't have a, let's see, grab the golem bell, there we go. I want one of you. Can I steal you from that? Nope. Okay. Either way, I need to be able to have the front for the seal. Now, this isn't very fancy. I really liked the warehouse style with the shelving there. So I'm trying to come up with what I'd like to do. One option is these platforms from Random Things. Now the platforms, they're kind of cool. You place them here, you can place things on top of it. Looks really nice. But if I'm going to have a platform above it, first off, that's a thing. You can walk through them, and you can jump up them. So, not really what I'd like. Let's place one right here. Yeah, so my shelving would be set up like that, which is kind of unnecessarily tall. One thing, I wonder if I can jump up like this. I can. So that might actually be useful because of how that's accessed. Possibly. You know, let's actually shift this down a layer. Place platform on top of you, and go like this. And the platform there. So if I do that, I think that is taller than my warehouse is actually. So not really an option, and I don't really like how far apart they are. Although honestly, I don't know that I'm going to have a whole lot to do with that, because I think no matter what, I'm not going to be able to access this if I can't get the platform. Like, I won't be able to open it if it's too tall, and I can't be able to get it to be any closer together if there's anything between it, if that makes sense. Completely unrelated, apparently even though this is a creative world, you can get warp effects. So that's annoying. So something I can do to kind of give the same look is I can use chisel and bits. Now I can't actually place within this block, so basically this comes out and is taking up these 3 blocks here. It kind of works. I'm not sure if it's what I want, but it seems to kind of work. So let's get you back. And basically the way I did this is just a grid snapped quarter size cube. So just like that. And then just build all the way up and all the way down and call it a day. So this should be pretty easy to replicate once I get in game. For now I'm just using iron blocks, but of course I can use whatever I want because it's chisel and bits. I think this is the design I'm going to go with. So this gives me 6 per set here, and this is, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks wide, which is, I think, the same as what this was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So that's the same width as that. It's just that it's a little bit wider because it does go into these outer sides here, so it's technically 7 wide, but it doesn't really matter because it's chisel and bits. Alrighty, so I played around a little bit more before going back to the regular world, and I think I found what I want. Instead, I'm going with that's definitely the wrong button. Back to game. Alt, not Windows. It's the 8th size cube, so it's it's quite a bit smaller. Actually, it's half the size. It'll take a little bit longer to build, but whatever, it's still just going to be the same pieces. And I'm going with this, which is from Chisel and Bits. It's regular chisel. This is, what was it? The Trodden Bricks, I want to say. Trodden Bricks, which is from regular stone. Say recipe, yeah, so that's from smooth stone. So that one, it gives it kind of a broken up texture instead of having like a hard border like this one did, but it still looks like it's kind of one piece. I think I like it. So I guess the first thing is I need to figure out where to put everything. If I break all this, let's see how much room we've got. So this particular one, this didn't have anything stored in it, so I'm going to start with this one, and I think this corner doesn't have anything stored here, so I'll probably move all of that stuff over here, then rebuild over there, and yeah, just figure out like that. So first, the boring part of emptying everything. Alrighty, several ideas here. One is these platforms. One thing is that these do require an ender pearl. 6 of these takes 1 ender pearl, which here's 2 ender pearls for this, and I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means it's going to be basically 3 ender pearls per. A little expensive. Another thing is I can use trapdoors. However, if I misclick, then that happens. Another idea is just slabs. So here we have our slabs, that's an idea as well. I also realized that this guy in the back here, my golem may not be able to reach. I guess he could hop up here. He might be able to fit there. I can hop all the way up here, but he cannot. He might be able to climb. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to test with that. Otherwise, I could just do just 4 per instead of 6 per. That is an option as well. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know if you like the platforms versus the slabs. I kind of like the platforms because I can just jump up like this. Let's see what it looks like if I hang. That's not going to work. Okay, so that wouldn't work with the platforms. I'd have to put it on the front, which then takes a spot for, I wouldn't be able to put something in the front here, so that's an issue. I can hang things here, so hello. You can be, let's say, Thaumcraft. So that would work, because then I can hang signs on the front. Just go like this. This is a lot cleaner, I think, than this as well. I might go with the slabs. One thing I was looking at in creative was if I do a search for slab, these guys here, the steel scaffolding and aluminum scaffolding. I like the coloring of the steel. I like the cost of the aluminum. Aluminum is a lot cheaper. Steel, I have to go through the whole process of actually making steel, which I don't know that I actually have done that yet. Steel, Ancient Warfare is a cheap way, but I have to go through the research for that. I need to get steel at some point, but I haven't started that yet. Either way, I think for now I will go with just spruce slabs on here. We'll see what it looks like once I build up the railings here. Alrighty, well, I told my golem friend here to get me something out of that chest there. Oh, he finally picked it up. And basically, since he can't fly or climb, I had to make a staircase for him. So not ideal. I will have to probably make a new golem. I'm thinking flying is probably going to be the better option here, because then I can just go straight up. I do want to check to see if he can reach this one though. So place you on there, please. I can place on this one. Why can't you place? Just regular click, not shift click. Yeah. Okay, let's tell you to get me a grass block, please. So let's go over here. Thank you, mister. I would like a grass block. Just one. Okay, yeah, so his pathfinding isn't even going to let him jump up here anyway. So even though I can jump through here, he does not. So good to know. That being the case, let's build a stair so he can go get the thing. Thank you. Seriously, it's a torch. Yeah, pathfinding. Wonderful thing. So I'm going to get a flying one of these guys, and I think I am going to go with the slabs. It's not too bad of a look. I think it fits better with Minecraft, actually. This just seems too thin. It's only, what, 2 pixels thick? It's nice, and it'd be better if I could get everything to be more compact, but since I have to have this as spread out anyway, I think I'm going to go with this and do 4 per. So that's still better than what I had before, because this is now sortable. And it's 4 per instead of 3. This is slightly smaller. I can't always upgrade these to diamond, but at least last season I didn't need to go beyond gold. And these marks on the floor here with the white wool is basically saying which spots are taken. These are considered blocks because the single line of chiseled stone is taking up this block. So basically it's actually a 7 by, I guess, 3, because I'm not going back into the wall here. So 7 by 3, I need to figure out how I want to space all these out. I can at least center these ones on this window. This is somewhat centered. I mean, it can't really be centered because it's an even number, but actually, it being an even number, I could go out one more, but that's not going to get me any more because there's still... either way, this block is not going to be there because it can't reach. Huh. Oh well, just thinking out loud. Well, I've spent a little while on this, and I have to say it's definitely cleaner than it was before. Like I said, I still need to get the flying golem to be able to actually properly use this, but for now, this is pretty much ready to go. I still need to move these ones over here, Thaumcraft, Immersive Engineering, Britannia. These ones are more full than these other ones were, but we'll get to that. One nice thing about this that I hadn't really thought of is this will enable me to kind of customize each of the shelves. So for instance, this is Runecraft, Evilcraft, Blood Magic, and Abyssalcraft. Basically everything evil. That means what I could do is I can swap out parts of this. I can, instead of using slabs, I can use, well, chisels and bits. I can have, you know, some
purple goo dripping down or something. I can kind of customize it and do whatever I want. Whereas with the previous shelving units, what you see is what you get. That's it. Ta-da. Fancy. One thing... Ooh, leveled up. One thing is, instead of having... I did have 3 shelving units before, which got me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I now have this, which only gets me 8 for here. This guy here is going to go away. This is just random stuff that I had when I was crafting it. Shelving units and grates, for instance. So that one's going to go away. But I need to figure out, if I like care at all. I may not actually need that to be having the extra one, because I didn't have these all filled to begin with. So I'll need to figure that out. One thing is that this back here, I need to figure out what to do with it. So this here has 2 pixels here, 2 pixels here, 2 pixels here. It's in these 3 blocks, whereas the back wall here is kind of in the way. If there's not glass, what I can do is I can just kind of embed it into the wall, like this type thing, which I might do, but if there's a glass pane like this, I can't do that, I don't think. Pretty sure I can't, yeah. If I place that, that doesn't do anything, right? Okay. So, in the meantime, it's just kind of smaller. I suppose I could double it up like this, but I don't have it in the back anyway, so I'm not sure how much that really matters. Either way, oh, stuck. There we go. I think the idea is in place. I need to finish up and move Thaumcraft and those other ones over here, though. Alrighty, it has been probably a couple hours or so, maybe only 1 hour. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of time. We have, I think, everything all spaced out. So I've got everything where I want it. I do have a couple spots that are missing. This one's empty. This is a temporary one for my ores, which had previously been in this section, which is currently empty. This side one over here is also empty. And I've got Botania, Thaumcraft, Immersive Engineering, and Magneticraft over here. The reason being, they all kind of are similar. Apparently can't click on that. Anyway, for instance, nickel, which it says here is Magneticraft. I've been using more for, in fact, I'm going to move these over. I've been using them more in Immersive Engineering here, so might as well have them there. This can go here, this can go here. The iron plates also get used by several of those mods, at least these 3, except for Botania. For now, I'll put you up here. Yeah, so kind of a system, kind of not. Like I said, this is empty, so I have plenty of space to expand. This one's empty as well. These are kind of a couple random mods. Ancient Warfare, my various death notes. Each time you die, you get a death info from Gravestone's mod. Random things is kind of what it says. It's the mod random things, but also a few other things like not enough wands. Some cork stuff as well. I haven't really figured out where I want to sort each of those because I don't have too many. Still working on emptying this, which is a bunch of bees from Pam's. But for the most part, like I said, we've got it all sorted out. We've got at least a space for everything. I still need to put in the actual automation to sort things, though. So that is going to be blood magic. We have done quite a bit off camera here. We've got all of our, well, not all, but a good portion of our output routing nodes in place. These guys are set up with mod item filters. For instance, this is set for a Magneticraft shelving unit, so it sorts everything Magneticraft to the south there, and to the north, Immersive Engineering. Similarly, Thaumcraft, Botania, Blood Magic, Embers, Bisselcraft, Evilcraft, Runecraft, these are all set up here. And they're all set to the same as the output routing node on this guy, which is my input, yeah, makes sense. Input from this chest, or automation chests, will go into this line, which is that network, which will go to all these chests and the main drawers. I will need to set up these guys here, which is the opposite direction. So it pulls from my storage and sends it to automation, but that is for another time. I've also been trying to clean up a little bit here. I got rid of a couple of things. I think there was a couple, like a cauldron or crucible or whatever it's called from Roots sitting here. Moved my bed a little bit, although I need to sleep. Rain not night? Oh, you're raining. Okay. I need to sleep to reset my spawn because I did move it. If I hit F4, I believe everything is spawn-proof in here. It shows up as zeros underneath there, but that's because it's slabs. And I put a light at right here on each of these sections. You can kind of see it there. So all of the shelving units here have that, which I believe keeps everything spawn-proof. I've been kind of looking around. I think that's got it all, though. I do want to do a bit more cleanup. Pretty much this entire corner, I want it to go. I want this to be same storage as everything else, which is going to be gold boxes and shelves here. Coke oven, you're going to go over to farming district. You can stay here. We need to move over here a little bit. Other than that, pretty much just cleaning up everything, trying to make the place a bit more presentable. Is that better? Is that worse? Not sure. And the next step in order to properly set up the storage room is the opposite direction. Like I said, I'll do this a different day, but this side of the routing node system is for input from storage out to automation. So output, input, kind of gets confusing once you're doing both. And that is really where this floor down here comes in handy. So the whole point of this floor, besides initial base survival stuff, this area here is where I'm going to have many ender chests. They're all going to be just arrayed around here. They're going to be just in rows on shelves probably. And basically the way they're going to work is everything up here is just going to be routing only to ender chests. That way I don't need to worry about chunk loading. It's just if the farm is loaded, it'll process. I don't need to worry about a chain of input routing nodes or whatever, or corporea really even. Just everything's going to be routing into ender chests down here, which will be then set up to their various farms. For instance, I'll have a link even up to my mana storage is going to be hooked up to that as well. So I'll have a mana chest down here, which I may or may not actually have on me already. Do I have an ender chest on me? No, I don't. Okay, whatever. But basically that's where this floor is going to be here. So it's sort of a loading, unloading area down here. Main storage will be on this floor. And then up above here is, of course, going to be my deep storage, which is my drawers. And pretty much all these need to be upgraded and filled out, of course. Well, not going to lie, this has been something that I've been kind of dreading to do for quite a while now. Ever since pretty much since I built the thing. I kind of figured I'd have to rebuild it anyway. Even be able to right-click is amazing. And I can't do that in the regular shelving units. So I've been putting it off, and I'm really glad to have gotten it done in one episode. This is, for the most part, I think how this is going to look. Bed is eventually going to move into a different building. For now it's in here though. These guys are probably not going to stay here either. I'm not sure where I'll put them. Yeah, really not sure where I'll put them. You know what? You can actually go over here. You can go over here. Maybe. No. Here. Nope, you need to go like this. Yeah. Just general cleanup. Base cleanup is never fun, but you always feel much better once it's done. So I just don't want there to be stuff everywhere. But I do want it to look like a warehouse. So anyway, it's something I've been putting off for a long time. Really glad it's actually done finally, and I can finally start actual automation. I've got some farm set up over there, but nothing's really controlled. It's just on. That's it, on. So I'm going to finally be able to start doing corporea and setting up some real automation, some real factories, and some real shops around town. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.